Last March, my wife, Emily, came home with a grand plan. She needed a trial separation to discover her true self. We'd been married for 5 years, and Emily always had these big, costly ideas. This time, her therapist had filled her head with notions of personal growth, and she decided a trial separation was the key to her independence. The twist: she expected me to keep paying for her entire lifestyle during this self-discovery phase. Car payments, phone bill, credit cards, plus cash for rent at whatever fancy place she picked. Apparently, you can't find your authentic self if you're stressed about money. What Emily didn't know was that I'd grown tired of being her personal bank account. When she pitched the separation, I saw my chance. I agreed enthusiastically. She was stunned by my support, immediately laying out ground rules and a timeline like we were signing a contract. 6 months, maybe more, depending on her progress. I'd cover all her existing bills and send money for rent and living expenses. What she didn't realize was that I'd kept most of my finances separate when we married. She was only an authorized user on my main credit card and had access to our joint checking account. But my savings and investments were mine alone, a decision that proved wise. Emily found a pricey condo in the city, far beyond what she could afford, perfect for her journey of self-discovery. I co-signed the lease since she had no job, and she moved out the next week, taking half the furniture and leaving me with the essentials. The first month went as expected. Emily lived large in her new condo, ordering takeout every night because cooking didn't fit her newfound independence. She bought new outfits to reflect her true self, splurged on spa treatments, and signed up for Pilates classes. I started tracking every cent she spent, screenshots of credit card statements, bank transfer records, receipts she left lying around. Designer yoga gear, organic groceries, mindfulness workshops that cost more than a car payment. Emily was spending like money grew on trees. Meanwhile, I was thriving. No more tiptoeing around her moods, no more overpriced restaurants I didn't enjoy, no more listening to her endless complaints while she did nothing to fix them. By month 3, Emily decided she was destined to be a wellness coach. She enrolled in a $5,000 certification program, talking about starting her own business to empower women. All on my dime, naturally. Month 4 brought a spiritual awakening. She insisted on a 2-week retreat in Sedona, Arizona, to align her energy. That set me back $3,500. When she returned, she was all about crystals and meditation. By month 5, she declared herself an artist, signing up for pottery classes and buying supplies that could have funded a small startup. Her condo looked like a craft store had exploded. I kept playing the supportive husband, all while documenting every charge, every transfer, every absurd purchase. I built a dossier of her spending. Her journey was racking up a fortune. By month 6, Emily called in a panic. Her credit cards were declined at a boutique. She thought it was a bank error. It wasn't. I'd spent the previous week removing her as an authorized user on my credit cards, closing our joint checking account, and redirecting my paycheck to a new account she didn't know about. I even transferred the utilities back to my name. When she finally got through to me, I laid it out. Her trial separation was now a full separation. She wanted independence. Here it was, financial and otherwise. 2 days later, Emily showed up at my door looking wrecked, hair messy, clothes disheveled, sleep-deprived. Reality had hit hard when her rent was due and she had no income. She tried every trick, crying about how this wasn't what she meant by separation, yelling that I was heartless, begging to come back. I listened calmly as she cycled through every emotion. When she demanded to know how I could cut her off so suddenly, I showed her my evidence. A binder of bank statements and credit card records. Every purchase was itemized, wellness courses she never completed, art supplies collecting dust, the Sedona retreat that changed nothing. Total cost: $24,500 in 6 months, not counting rent and basic expenses. Her jaw dropped. She'd never bothered to track what her self-discovery was costing. Emily promised to pay me back, to be more responsible, but we both knew that was impossible. She'd never held a job longer than a few months, and her idea of budgeting was checking if her cards were maxed out. I gave her until the end of the month to sort out her living situation. After that, she was truly on her own. Her family got involved next. Her brother called, saying I was being unfair. Her mom sent texts about marriage being a partnership through tough times. I just shared my expense reports. Hard to argue with $24,500 in receipts. Emily tried crashing with friends, but her enlightened personality wore thin fast. Nobody wants a guest who whines constantly and contributes nothing. By the end of the week, she was back at her parents' house, sleeping in her old room at 33. The last month was a wake-up call for both of us. Emily learned what real independence means, and I discovered how peaceful life could be. She struggled to find work. Turns out, half-finished wellness certifications and spiritual retreats don't impress employers. Her parents threatened to charge rent, which lit a fire under her. She landed a clerical job at a dental office, making just above minimum wage, a far cry from the lifestyle I'd funded. Emily kept trying to win me back, offering to sign a postnup, promising financial therapy, swearing she'd repay every cent. But with her $1,400 a month take-home pay, she could barely cover her phone bill. The separation became official when she couldn't pay her condo rent, and I had to cover a $2,800 lease break penalty as the co-signer, another gift from Emily's independence. She consulted a lawyer about alimony, but with my records showing I'd funded her voluntary spending spree, she had no case. Divorce papers were filed 6 weeks ago. She couldn't afford to contest them, and with no real assets to claim, it was straightforward. The only debate was who'd pay the legal fees. Emily's reality check has been harsh. She's still at the dental office, still at her parents' house. Her self-discovery didn't teach her budgeting or work ethic. She went from spending my money freely to scraping by on basics. No more spa days, no more boutique shopping. Her parents started charging her rent after the first month, and they're not thrilled about supporting their adult daughter indefinitely. She's reached out a few times, suggesting we work things out. But she still doesn't get it. Our issues weren't about communication or counseling. They were about her treating me like a wallet while contributing nothing to our marriage. I heard she's seeing some guy from her office. Good luck to him, he'll need it. I'm doing better than ever. I bought a new SUV with the money I'm no longer spending on Emily's whims. I'm investing again, even took a trip to Colorado, something she always vetoed as too expensive. The house is quiet, drama-free, just me, my projects, and my growing savings. The divorce was finalized last month. Emily got what she wanted, total independence. She's still at her parents' house, still at the dental office. The guy she was dating bylaid when he realized her financial situation. Turns out, not many people want to date a 33-year-old living with her parents and working an entry-level job. I bought out her negligible share of the house equity. Since she never contributed to the mortgage or down payment, it was minimal. The house is my sanctuary now, no more chaos or manufactured crises. Emily's 6-month journey taught her she's not as independent as she thought. I learned I'm happier and wealthier without someone draining me. She found out self-discovery comes with a price she couldn't afford. I found out freedom is worth every penny. Perfect ending for those who earned it.